This is my audience for today's speech. Hello, my name is Titus Thompson, and I'm a freshman here at Southern Wesleyan University. As someone who was born in 2003, we have grown up with social media. Social media has intertwined its way into our everyday lives. Social media has plagued modern society, and it has numerous negatives, especially among children and young adults. I believe parents should limit the social media consumption of their children because social media can disrupt their sleep patterns, negatively affect their performance in school, cause increased depression, and make them more vulnerable to cyberbullying. First, I want to outline how often it is used among the youth. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter are some of the apps that we use every day. What may come as a surprise, however, is how often these apps are used by the youth. I'm a practicum teacher at an elementary school, so I see this firsthand every day. I see children as young as 7 years old make references to and talk about these apps. My firsthand experience is also backed by the research. According to a 2021 poll from the C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, 49% of children ages 10 to 12 and 32% of children ages 7 to 9 have social media accounts. Now that you can see how prevalent its use is among the children, I want to explain its various negatives. Social media can negatively affect children's sleep patterns. As college students, we know what it is like to be stuck scrolling through social media, often for hours at a time. According to Jessica Levinson and her team of researchers, people who use social media frequently and for long periods of time have significantly greater odds of developing sleep disturbance. We have been told countless times that it is unhealthy when we do not get enough sleep, but you may be wondering, what does this actually mean? Sleep deprivation is linked to heart disease, kidney disease, stroke, and several other chronic health problems down the road. Among children specifically, sleep deprivation may limit the child's ability to pay attention, it may provoke them to misbehave, and their grades may suffer. Although children's grades may suffer from sleep deprivation, lower grades are also linked to social media itself. Social media use among children can decrease academic performance. This is illustrated by Haley A. Hamilton and her team of researchers when they outlined social media use, school connectedness, and overall academic performance among adolescents. In their article, they found that when students used social media for over 2 hours a day, both middle and high schoolers had less academic performance. With social media becoming common practice in preteens and teens, their academic performance mustn't be hindered. They suggested that because of this, limitations on social media consumption must occur. Next, one of the biggest negatives of social media is that it negatively affects mental health. Specifically, depression is one of the major problems that is associated with social media. Depression is a problem that is growing in the United States at an alarming rate. According to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, in 2015, 12.5% of adolescents had major depressive episodes. In 2019, this number skyrocketed to over 15% of adolescents. With social media use on the rise, it could explain why children are becoming more depressed. According to an article posted in the Journal of Depression and Anxiety, social media use was significantly associated with an increase in depression. Because there is an association between the two, parents should limit their child's social media consumption. Yet another negative of social media is an introduction to cyberbullying. Schools in recent years have cracked down on bullying inside of the classroom, and schools have made it a top priority to eliminate this bullying. However, cyberbullying is taking its place. Cyberbullying has seen very few limitations, and internet bullies very seldom receive any punishment for their actions. Michelle Hamm found that over 23% of teens ages 12 to 18 have experienced cyberbullied. When children are cyberbullied, it often leads to self-harm and even suicide. One tragic story of this is that of Megan Meyer. Megan, who was 13, befriended someone on a social media platform, and this supposed friendship later drove her to commit suicide. There are countless horror stories like these, and reform must occur. This reform starts with the parents, who can limit the social media usage of their children. Social media apps require users to be at least 13 years of age to use their platforms. As discussed earlier, however, children much younger than this are on these sites because they lie about their age. And this is a direct responsibility of the parents. Parents can limit social media in several ways. One way would be to block these apps altogether on their children's devices. This will prevent the child from even being exposed to these harmful apps in the first place. Another way to limit social media would be to set very specific boundaries on who they can befriend, how long they can be on the app, and when they can be on the app. Applying these strict regulations would help decrease the likelihood of the negatives associated with social media. Overall, social media has become one of the biggest influences on our lives. It has grown into a massive problem in the United States for teens and preteens alike. Coming from someone who sees children being negatively affected by social media on a daily basis, its use should be limited. Parents should limit social media consumption among their children because it can disrupt their sleep patterns, negatively affect their performance in school, cause increased depression, and make them more vulnerable to cyberbullying. Thank you.